Today we are talking about more effective communication. This is Analytical Media. We are a consortium of therapists, college professors, and well-published peer-reviewed authors. Communication is difficult, very difficult, exceedingly difficult. How many fights have started because of poor communication, where two people actually agree on something, and yet they're arguing, thinking that they're opposing each other. You think you know what you said. You think anyone in the world with half a brain would understand what you said. However, you could be wrong. The person you're speaking to may not understand what you said at all. It may be your fault, or it may be their fault. We don't know. We need to find out what they heard, or what they think they heard, or what they perceived. You think you know what you said, and maybe somebody else would have understood it, or maybe not. You're not infallible. People get divorced over things like this, have terrible fights over things like this, get shot and killed and stabbed over things like this. It's the truth. So the first thing we need to accept is that communication is very difficult. You think you know what you heard, but do you know what they were trying to say to you? Did you misperceive it? Maybe they misspoke and don't know it. Or maybe you misperceived what you heard. You interpreted it the wrong way because of past learning, past experience, or just plain you don't get it. Today we're going to talk about comments without implications. If you get this part, you will have more effective communication. Somebody says something, that's a comment. You make a statement, that's a comment. The listener believes there's an implication in that comment. Something is implied. Yes, you have the words and you know what they mean, but what does it imply? They believe that all comments have implication. They mean something more than is said. Something is implied in what was just said. You want proof of that? Have you ever heard the statement, take it any way you want it, or you can take it any way you want it? What does that mean? It means that they made a statement and you're asking them what it means. Does that mean you're mad at me? Does that mean you think we should buy a new car? Does that mean we need a new roof? Does that mean you're admitting failure? What does it mean? Well, it doesn't necessarily mean anything beyond the statement itself. No implication. Does it mean it's my fault? Does it mean it's your fault? Does it mean we should give one of the dogs away? Does it mean that you don't want my mother to come and visit anymore? Well, what's the response? Take it any way you want it. Now that's a pretty bad thing, isn't it? To allow someone to take any meaning from what you said, any meaning at all. Take it any way you want it. It's a dangerous comment. Someone says, I see your mother's coming to visit. The other person may not say, what do you mean by that? But they probably will wonder, or may wonder, they may wonder if there's an implication that they do not want your mother to visit so often. They wonder if they should call their mother and say, maybe postpone that visit, because they believe something's being implied, but there may be nothing being implied at all. They call their mother and tell their mother not to visit, make up some excuse. Then later, the other party says, I thought your mother was coming this weekend. Where is she? Oh, I called her up and told her not to come. I thought you didn't want her to visit so often. If she would go on with that statement, or he, they might well say, and I'm angry about that because I've never said your mother couldn't come to visit as often as she likes. So I'm angry. I'm a little bit mad. I'm a little bit hurt. If they were being honest, they might say that to you, but they may not. Oftentimes the person who's in the weaker position, in the I need you more than you need me position, they will hold comments, information that could make them look bad in your eyes. They don't want to cause a fight because they'll probably lose the fight. They don't want to cause an argument because they'll likely lose the argument. Now, after the other person says, "Where's your mother? It's the weekend," and you reply, "I called her and told her not to come because I think she's coming too often," then the other person might say, "Why did you do that?" And the real answer would be, "Because I thought you didn't want her to come from what you said, and I didn't want to make you mad and cause trouble in the relationship. That's why I did it." Now, don't forget the words, "take it any way you want it," have not occurred. It's just a comment was made, and the person who heard the comment, who received it, thought there was an implication. There's no implication necessarily. There might be, but not necessarily. Many comments are simply that. They're statements. "It's a nice day out today. It was a beautiful day. I saw something funny." What's the implication? You never see anything funny? They're the only people that see something funny? They have a sense of humor and you don't, and that upsets you and makes you angry? And once something goes wrong, and there's tension that builds and anger and hurt feelings, it can easily lead to much more. Could it lead to a cheating affair? Could it lead to a love relationship outside the marriage? It could, and it oftentimes does, because after all, you deserved it because you don't like her mother. And this other guy, he likes her mother. Or at least he never said anything bad about her mother. It's a way to pay you back. It's a way to punish you. Not that either person was wrong and bad at any point in time. There's nothing wrong with making the comment, "Your mother's coming, I see you on the weekend." What's the implication of that statement? There may be no implication, nothing implied. And if you think there might be, you should ask. You should be honest enough and brave enough to ask, "Is it okay for my mother to come? Do you care if she comes? Does it upset you?" And you may hear an answer you don't want to hear, or you may hear an answer that makes you feel much better. "No, I like your mother. I enjoy her visits very much. We get along really well." Things can be taken the wrong way. For instance, if you say, "How did you mean that? What do you mean by my mother's coming to visit?" And the response is, "Take it any way you want," you know there's something wrong here and something needs to be addressed. But people are very often so afraid to lose their existing relationship that they won't push for the truth. And if the truth is that the relationship sucks, then you should end it. Or if the truth is it's a good relationship with miscommunication, then you've got to clear up the miscommunication. And that's the purpose of today's video. It's very important to know what someone is trying to say. They may do a very poor job at communicating what they're trying to say, and it may be their fault. But once you recognize that communication is difficult, inaccurate, problematic, then you need to clarify it. Clarify everything. Go over it. Summarize it. No problem doing that. But you need to be honest about it. And if your relationship is being held together with some duct tape and a few band-aids, you need to be honest enough to know, to see the truth, and to recognize this relationship needs to end. It's no good. But many very good relationships, or potentially wonderful relationships, end because of miscommunication. You thought he said he doesn't want your mother to come and visit, but he never said that. We hook him up to a lie detector and he never said it. He just said, "Oh, I see your mother's coming to visit on a weekend." That's all he said. And so you end up, you get your feelings hurt, and you go out and have an affair, or call up an old boyfriend who liked your mother. Then he finds out about your affair, your phone affair, or your sexual affair, whatever it turns out to be. So he goes out and does it. "Okay, you did it, I'm going to do it. See how you like it." And then there could be all kinds of disaster that comes from that, including divorce, and worse. Comments without implication. What did you mean by that? What are you trying to say? Nothing. I'm not trying to say anything. I didn't mean anything by that. I just meant your mother's coming on the weekend. I got the messages and I saw she was coming, and I was making small talk. Or I thought you might want to talk about it, and we'd look at what restaurants you might want to go to, or if we want to take her to the pool or over to the ocean. That's what I was thinking. But you can see it could lead to affairs and divorce. And that's not an exaggeration. Talk to marriage counselors. Talk to couples therapists. You can explore it. When he says, I see your mother's coming for the weekend, you could say, is that okay with you? Did you have something planned? And you might get an answer you're surprised with, like, well, yeah, I thought we were going to go to that car rally, or there was that big car show we wanted to see, or I thought we were going to go fishing. And you might say, well, then I'll call my mother and see if there's a better day she can come out, which also could solve a problem, because it could be a comment without implication, or it could be a comment with implication, which in this case would be, let's talk about it. Your mother wants to come this weekend. She's planning on coming. Let's talk about it. Did she already get her tickets? Well, in which case they're non-refundable. Well, she's coming. Unless it's something like, well, don't forget, this weekend you're going in for all your heart tests, and you might be in the heart lab most of the weekend, where the dog's going to have surgery. Could be a mistake. It could be something that needs to be rescheduled. People are oftentimes afraid. They're afraid to tell the truth because they don't want to hear the answer. Like, do you love me? The answer might be, well, sometimes I do, but mostly I don't. Or maybe a little bit. They're afraid of the answer. However, they need to hear the answer. They're not safe. You see some mysterious materials in the garage. They're connected to a clock and an RF transmitter. Has an antenna. It's ticking away. And some strange plastic-looking clay stuff the two wires go into. It could be a bomb. And you might be afraid to ask, is that a bomb? Could that explode? Just afraid to ask. Well, you're afraid he might say it's none of your business. You shouldn't be snooping in the garage. That's it, I'm done with you. I don't want to be spied on all the time. It could happen. And that's good. If the relationship is bad, it should end. So you have time to find another one. Certainly, you could find one just as bad as the one you have. But if you try with what you know now, you could find one much better. You could have a better relationship. You can't be afraid of the answer. Is that thing in the garage safe? Could it explode? And if he says, no, it's not safe, yes, it could explode, then you got to be ready to handle that. And the right thing to do, of course, would be to call the police. Say there's something in my garage that could explode that looks like a bomb. You can't be afraid of the truth. So don't let your fear stop you from questioning someone. They make a statement. You think there may be an implication. You've got to clarify that. Is there an implication? You might say, well, they wouldn't tell me if there was. They wouldn't tell me. Then you shouldn't be in that relationship. We're talking about miscommunication. We're not talking about persons who refuse to communicate. If he wouldn't tell you the truth, you shouldn't be in that relationship. Then you get out. Because, well, I'm not going to tell you. Then it's time to get out. But it could be he will tell you, oh, that's nothing. That's just some peanut butter stuff I put together on a clock for a picture I'm taking. Come on, I'll show you. I'll show you where I got the idea. That strengthens the relationship. And you could ask, but you have to handle the truth. Lots of people today are dealing with artificial intelligence. And I can tell you one thing for sure. When artificial intelligence tells you something, at least at this point in time, before it's become corrupted by organizations and individuals, at least at this point in time in its early development, when it tells you something, It has no implication. The comment it made has no implication. They don't care about your mother. They don't care which political party you belong to. They have nothing to gain, no axe to grind. They're just answering a question. Is your mother coming to visit this weekend? Yes, comma, no, whatever the answer is. Human beings oftentimes do exactly the same thing. They have no implication. They say something, there's nothing implied. Like you should lose weight, should take more gym classes, should take some new wonder drug. There's no implication. It's just, hey, I noticed your sister lost a lot of weight, didn't she? What's the implication? Oh, you like my sister now. You're sorry you married me because I'm now heavier than my sister. Is that the implication? There may be no implication. And you need to find out. You need to resolve that. So a comment may have an implication, but there are many that don't. Many. Perfectly logical thought will not include an implication that may or may not be understood. When you apply something, it doesn't mean the person who heard it understands what you've implied or will get it. It's kind of like an implication is kind of a hidden message. And if you don't have the right decoding equipment, then that message is never heard. That secret, hidden message is never heard. Good people in good relationships can make mistakes. You should not allow those mistakes to destroy or harm your relationship. We know that difficulties in communication can occur. Things can be said that weren't meant to be said, but they were said in a certain way and interpreted in a certain way, in a way that was damaging to the relationship, but never meant to do that. We also know that people can hear things that weren't said, or at least weren't meant to be said, that the meaning of the words is not what was meant. The meaning of the words may say, I love you, but you've interpreted them to mean, I don't love you. The interpretation may be incorrect, or the way it was said, the words chosen may be incorrect. Incorrect in the sense that it's not what he meant to say, or it may be said correctly, but the listener, you may not have heard it correctly. It's a very real thing that can damage or end a relationship. There are many, many things that can go wrong in communication. Today we've talked about comments without implications. It's a comment. It meant nothing more than that. It may have, and if you think it may have, you need to ask. You need to say, did you mean this? Or did you mean that? Or do you think we ought to change this? Or we ought to get rid of the cat? If it's raised a question in your mind, talk about it. Clarify that question. The simplest way to sum up this video, our discussion on ineffective communication and how to make your communication more effective, more correct, is that comments, just like you would get from artificial intelligence, have no implications. They imply nothing. There's nothing behind it. No bias, no confirmation bias, no competition. AI is not competing with you. Your spouse may be. Your partner may be. Your boyfriend or girlfriend may be. Many comments, if not most, have no implication. It's a nice day out today. Boy, I really like Scruffy the dog. Our dog. I saw a really cute puppy today. Does that mean, are you implying we should go get another dog and get that puppy? Is there an implication, or was it just, I saw a really cute puppy today? This is Analytical Media. We are all college professors. Many of us are therapists. All of us are well published and peer reviewed. Please subscribe so that we might send this message out to more people. Subscribe, share, like the video, all those things will cause YouTube to send this message out to more people. Our goal is to help people. We hope we've helped you understand communication, and we will do much more of this. Look for our next video. It'll come out soon. Please take care.